Am I open right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, Kendall, good to see you. Here we are, week three. Can you kind of update us on how far you've come in camp? You know, the progress you've made, and where you feel like you guys are right now.
Yeah, I feel like the guys are doing everything we're asking them to do, working extremely hard. Felt like really the last 3 days have been really good. I think offense and defense as a team. Um, we've made some plays, and the defense has made some plays and made it tough on us. So there's a lot of blows taken and blows given right now, and we just finished a really good practice. So I'm pleased with where we are right now.
Alyssa?
Hey, Coach. I know that last week, Coach Pittman said that the tight ends were still kind of up in the air, and this could be a big week for some of those guys to set themselves apart. What are you looking for specifically at that position? And then again, in these past 2 days, anybody stood out to you?
Yeah, just a well-rounded guy. You know, we got to have a physical player at that position, somebody that'll finish on blocks, and then a guy that's versatile enough to be able to get out on the edge and be a real threat in the throw game. And then a guy that, you know, the tight end position for us offensively, they're not told what to do all the time. A lot of time they got a line to execute, and so we got to have a guy that can think fast, react fast, line up fast, and then play fast. And that's kind of what we're looking at. And we got a host of guys that are playing the position, that are getting a lot of reps, and you know, those guys are all progressing. And you know, I don't think we found the guy yet. Hopefully Friday we'll have somebody who separates. But the thing that I do appreciate is we've got 3 or 4 guys that we feel decently good at putting them out on the field and knowing what we're going to get, but just waiting on somebody to separate.
Hutch?
Yeah, Kendall, I was wondering what you've thought about the offensive line. How has it progressed, you know, from day one of camp to right now?
Yeah, they've done a nice job. You know, the biggest thing that we're really stressing this week is physicality and really straining on blocks. And you know, you got what I believe is two of the best O-line coaches around with Pittman and Coach Davis. And don't get me wrong, Coach Davis is running the room, but Coach Pittman's always going to have his eye on those guys, and he offers great advice, not just to me, but for all of us, you know, just training with blocks. And so, you know, when you have those guys that are working with him, they're going to always progress and get better. And we've seen them do that. Feel really comfortable about Myron Cunningham at our left tackle spot. And I think Bo Limmer's been playing really, really well at our right guard position, and Stromberg at center. And we just got to settle down in a couple other areas, and I feel like we'll be really good up front.
Trey? Biddy?
Coach, I was wondering about the wide receivers, like where they line up primarily. Traylon Burks was playing pretty much slot last year at 6'3", 230. Is that where you envision him going, and like who else is working at that spot?
Yeah, he does play inside receiver for us, Burks. He's going to line up at various positions. But, yeah, he is an inside receiver, and we've got a couple guys that are playing that. TJ Hammonds will play that position. Davion Warren is also in there. And then we got a couple other guys that have mixed in. But we feel good about our slots and our outside receivers. But Traylon, we're going to have him moving around quite a bit.
Scotty?
Hey, Kendall, I asked Sam about Trey Knox yesterday. I'm just wondering from your perspective how he's looked so far in camp and how he can take the next step as a player.
Yeah, Trey's really consistent. You know, he's a long kid, probably 6'3.5". And the thing that I've talked with Trey about is just trying to play more explosive and then beating people at the line of scrimmage, using his long limbs to his advantage. But Trey's done everything we've asked, and really feel comfortable about where he's at. He catches the ball really well, and I'd say he's probably one of the smartest players on the field, really intelligent, and that helps when you're playing with tempo.
Russell?
Coach, what do you like about Myron's game and what he's done to hold down that left tackle position for the line there?
Just consistency, you know, productivity. I'm not saying that he's been perfect, and neither have I, neither have anybody else, but I like the fact that every single day we know pretty much what we're going to get at that left tackle position. And he's been able to deliver. And, you know, leading up to fall camp, we had a lot of practices as well. Now, they weren't padded and all of that, but we've seen we've seen a lot, and Coach Odom is definitely giving us a lot on defense that's making us really have to think, and it's putting a lot of pressure on our guys up front. So I think Myron and his consistencies is what's been very impressive up to this point.
Nate.
What has Bo Limmer done really to establish himself already at right guard?
Same thing, just been consistent. You know what you're getting out of Bo every day. Bo, he's really a twitchy kid. He's got good weight. He's around 305. But when you see him move, he really plays fast. And then Bo will strike you and he'll finish you. He's a really tough kid, and glad he's on our team. He's done a really nice job.
Bob.
Hey, Kendall. Hey, Sam said I guess it was yesterday, that the guys were in good shape but not game shape. Where do you think what do you guys have to do to get in game shape, and especially when you want to run up tempo? What's the key to that? And do you have any concerns in that area as far as conditioning right now?
I don't have any concerns with where we're at right now. We do need to continue to work at practice to get in game shape. And you're right, when you play at tempo, at times it can be difficult on really all 11 guys on the field, especially if you're able to move the ball and stay on the field. And if you're doing that, that means you're making first downs, which is always good. But I think as a entire football team, I would think that that's what Coach Pittman was speaking of. And I agree with him. I don't think we're in game shape right now. We looked a little better today, but it was pretty nice. Our last scrimmage, it was hot, it was humid, and we had a lot of special teams involved with that scrimmage as well. And so there's a lot of running up and down the field. So you saw guys dragging their tongues a little bit. I think the 1-2's there. We just got to keep striving and getting them in shape.
Feel good you guys will be where you want to be by Georgia week?
We will be.
All right, round 2. Tom.
Kendall, what are you looking to stress maybe in the upcoming scrimmage? What are the key parts of it for you? And how do you think quarterback reps will go in that one?
Stressing is just protecting the football. That was a big thing last weekend is you got to protect the football and give yourself a chance to win every single game. So that's going to be our number one priority on offense, is to make sure that we're doing that and stressing that. The discipline within each and every play, just doing your job, trying to limit the missed assignments. That's also going to be a big deal for us. It's just, seeing the signals, lining up, and being able to execute the play that's called. And so those are things that we're going to want to see. And what was the last part of your question?
The QBs, how you might split up the reps?
Yeah, those reps will be pretty much the way that they have been. The 1s will be with Franks and 2s with Jefferson, and then we're going to let those other guys roll through, and maybe we'll be able to slide those guys up with some of the 2 reps as well.
Ty.
Yeah, Kendall, you've had some good quarterbacks in your past, whether it's Bryce Petty, whether it's Seth Russell, Derek Keene, Jason Driscoll. What similarities does Felipe may or may not have with some of your former quarterbacks?
Yeah, I don't want to compare any of those guys. I think, as a player, you want to be your own person, and certainly those other guys that you've mentioned have all been tremendous quarterbacks, and I'm very fortunate to be around them. Those guys have played beyond college football, and I think Felipe and some of the things that he possesses that I really appreciate is his work ethic. He's a guy that comes up here and studies the tape. He watches it by himself every day. He wants the installs before we ever have our meetings. I feel like he's really starting to develop himself into having a leadership role. He's very competitive. We got to see a little bit of that today at practice. And, and you can talk about all that stuff, and he could be 5'9", 180 and slow and look like me, but he's not. He's 6'6", and he's 240 pounds, and he's got a lot of God-given abilities that he's blessed with, and he does not take them for granted. He continues to work, and that's what I appreciate so much about him. I'm very glad that we got him, and really appreciate coaching the young man.
Ready.
Yeah, Coach, I would just continue on with my wide receiver question. I know these guys are interchangeable, but I assume Knox is working more of a split end type and Woods more of a flanker type, I guess. Could you kind of just fill us in, like who's working where on there? And also, some coaches refer to them numbers, X, Y, Z, F. Some coaches refer to them by, numbers. Some coaches refer to them by letters. What do you use?
Yeah, those guys, we call them outside receivers, talking about Knox and Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have inside receivers. We try not to complicate it a whole lot. I'm not real smart, so X, Y, Z, I could get confused. So we just use 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's been the system that we've used, and hopefully it'll continue to show some success.
Who's the 1, 2, 3, 4?
We've got those guys outside receivers right now. So Knox and Woods are both be either at a 1 or a 4 position.
Okay. Thanks,
Coach.
I think I'm actually good.
Scotty.
Yeah, Kendall, going back to Bo Limmer for a minute, Jonathan Marshall said that he's kind of giving Bo is giving Jonathan Marshall a little bit of a run for his money in the weight room, just in terms of strongest guy on the team. So you're seeing that kind of translate to the field with Bo?
Yeah, you're asking me, am I seeing it translate to the field? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if you're a twitchy guy and you've got some lead in your butt and you can move some weight, then, you're playing right guard, which is what we want. So he's, like I said, he's a sharp kid. He's got a lot of want to, and he's got some ability to back it up. And I think as young as he is, he's going to have a tremendous career, and, hopefully it'll start September 26th.
Hey, Kendall, you talked a lot about, Barry's guys giving you all a good look. When you watch practice or watch film, what do you see from Arkansas's defensive ends?
Those guys have played. I'll tell you, Barry's done a tremendous job with moving those guys around. You can't always know exactly where they're going to be, but 13 has been a mismatch problem for us. We've had a hard time blocking him. But those guys are all playing at a real high level, and you really don't know where certain things are coming from, and Barry's done it for a long time as far as getting guys to play extremely hard and being able to run schemes that are going to get home, and they're definitely doing that. So we try to come in, correct it, and give our best shot.
What's Gerald showing you coming back, and the young guys like Soley and Williams and Gregory, I guess? Sam said Gregory's getting some 1 reps too.
Yeah, I've got enough things to worry about with offense to try to figure out exactly how those guys are doing. I know that when we do one-on-ones and that pass pro stuff, that those guys give us some problems. So they got him playing at a high level, and Coach LeBlanc, who's the D-line coach over there, he knows exactly what he's doing, and I believe that he's fulfilling that role.
Time for 1 or 2 more. Nate?
Kendall, just how is Noah Gatlin look coming off the injury he had last year?
He looks good. He's been on the field a bunch. He's obviously an extremely big kid. And he looks really healthy right now on the field. So, the thing about him is he's going to do everything right to make sure that he does stay healthy all the time. You see him up here, and he's in the training room and taking care of his body. So Coach Davis is doing a heck of a job with him, and hopefully he's going to help us.
Great shot.
Coach, how confident do you feel if you had to play, let's say Saturday, that you've got 11 guys you're going to go with, and then backups at those positions? How confident are you in what you have out there right now?
I think we would be good as far as running out there with the 1s. I think with the 2s, from a mental standpoint and probably conditioning standpoint, there might be a little bit lacking there. But overall, our kids are working extremely hard, and if we rolled out there and played on Saturday, they'd be fired up to do it. I can promise you that.
Ty?
Kendall, about a week or so ago, you said the quarterback position was Felipe's to lose. Is that still the case as of today?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tom, wrap us up.
We haven't asked you one word about the running backs. So I think we all know how Boyd performs. What's going on behind Boyd right now? Who's playing?
Traylon Smith is doing a tremendous job. Absolutely love that kid. I love his heart, his work ethic. You know, ever since we got here, I got here in January, all I've seen him do is work all the time. He's just a worker, and it's going to pay off for him. And he's a really smart kid. He understands the tempo, understands the offense, and an extremely tough kid. So he's been getting the reps behind Rakeem. And then, you know, Oglesby's had a little hiccup, and he was at running back as well. And then Spivey's looked good. And then our young guy, Dominique, he's had a nice camp as well. So we feel like, you know, Coach Smith has got a really good room there. And, you know, obviously Rakeem's going to be the lead dog.
All right. Thanks, Coach Briles.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hold on just a minute, guys, and we'll get